10 tips yoga poses that can transform unique your health in 30 days. 1. 10 tips yoga poses that can transform unique your health in 30 days. 1. Cat-cow pose, Marjaryasana, Bitilasana. This pose is a great way to warm up your spine and stretch your back and neck. To do cat-cow pose, start on your hands and knees with your back flat. Inhale as you arch your back like a cat, tucking your chin to your chest. Exhale as you round your back like a cow, dropping your head down and looking at your belly. Repeat this movement for 5 to 10 breaths. 2. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. This pose is a classic yoga pose that strengthens your arms, legs, and core. It also helps to open your chest and shoulders. To do downward facing dog, start in a plank position with your hands shoulder width apart and your feet hip width apart. Lower your body down to the ground, keeping your back straight and your core engaged. Your heels should be reaching towards the ground, but don't force them down if they don't touch. Hold for 5 to 10 breaths. 3. Plank pose, Chaturanga Dandasana. Plank pose is a more advanced pose that builds on downward facing dog. It strengthens your arms, core, and back. To do plank pose, start in downward facing dog and then lower your body down until your forearms are on the ground. Your elbows should be directly under your shoulders and your body should form a straight line from your head to your heels. Hold for 5 to 10 breaths. 4. Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Cobra pose is a great pose for opening your chest and shoulders. It also helps to strengthen your back muscles. To do cobra pose, start on your stomach with your hands under your shoulders and your fingertips facing forward. Press down into your hands and lift your chest off the ground, keeping your chin tucked towards your chest. Hold for 5 to 10 breaths. 5. Bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. Bridge pose is a great pose for strengthening your core and glutes. It also helps to open your hips and chest. To do bridge pose, start lying on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the ground. Raise your hips off the ground until your body forms a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Hold for 5 to 10 breaths. 6. Wheel pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Wheel pose is a more advanced pose that requires a lot of core strength and flexibility. It is a great pose for opening your chest, shoulders, and spine. To do wheel pose, start in a prone position with your arms at your sides and your palms facing down. Bend your knees and bring your feet towards your hands. Place your hands on the ground shoulder width apart and use your arms to push yourself up into the pose. Your body should form an arch from your shoulders to your heels. Hold for 5 to 10 breaths. 7. Supported back bend pose, Supported Setu Bandhasana. Supported back bend pose is a great beginner-friendly pose that helps to open your chest and shoulders. It is also a great way to build strength and flexibility in your back. To do supported back bend pose, start lying on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the ground. Place a yoga block or bolster under your hips and lower your back down onto the block. Raise your arms overhead and clasp your hands together. Hold for 5 to 10 breaths. 8. Pigeon pose, Ekapada Rajakapotasana. Pigeon pose is a great pose for opening your hips and groin. It also helps to improve your flexibility. To do pigeon pose, start on your hands and knees. Bring your right knee forward and place it on the ground outside of your right wrist. Extend your left leg back behind you, keeping your foot flexed. Lean forward over your right knee and reach your arms forward. Hold for 5 to 10 breaths, then repeat on the other side. 9. Wide leg forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Wide leg forward fold is a great pose for stretching your hamstrings, calves, and back. It also helps to open your hips and groin. To do wide leg forward fold, start standing with your feet wide apart. Bend forward from your hips and reach down towards your toes. Keep your back straight and your core engaged. You can bend your knees if you need to. Hold for 5 to 10 breaths. 10. Child's pose, Balasana. Child's pose is a great pose for relaxing and releasing tension in your back and neck. It is also a great way to prepare for other yoga poses. To do child's pose, start on your hands and knees. Bring your hips back towards your heels and rest your forehead